Anyway, let's talk about the Masters. Let's talk about Tiger Woods. Let's talk about the only reason why I watch any golf. I only watch golf for two things. Only two. So I'm starting with a disclaimer. One, the Ryder Cup, because I like the whole camaraderie. Secondly, if Tiger Woods is playing. After that, I'm not there. So, but you on the other hand, Mukami, you nowadays you love golf.
Yeah.
You're there arguing about it in the wee hours of the night.
Because that's when golf happens. And a big part of it is I was in Italy when the Ryder Cup was happening. And I only went for like the practice session. I wasn't even there for the main game day. And the atmosphere was so crazy. Because for them, this is like their World Cup. They are so used to being individuals that's the one time they get to play as a team. So it ends up meaning so much to all of the players. But golf, I don't know when it happened, but it happened. Actually, clearly. I remember it was because of Tiger Woods, his comeback.
After when everyone thought he was done, yeah.
It was like 14 years since he'd won a major.
2019.
Yes. And the Masters this year is really interesting.
So let's talk about it. Tiger has made history. 24th consecutive cut at the Masters. He's what? 7 shots off the lead?
Yeah. And people had derailed him. And even before the tournament, there was a press conference and he was being asked like, okay, how do you see yourself doing? And he was like, I want to win. And then he finished that. Then he was like, oh, do you want me to justify that anymore? Like, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be competing if I didn't think I have the ability to win. But he said so many things need to fall into place for that to be possible. And I feel like yesterday the weather was one of them because the wind gusts were like extremely crazy. You hit the ball and you're just seeing it moving from one direction. You hit a putt and it continues past the hole. So people were doing so badly. McIlroy is in +4. John Ram, who won last year, is on +5. I think there were like 10 people who are under par yesterday.
Yes, there were actually, let me see, I had it somewhere. There were not many. Where is that stat? Only 8.
8
went
were
under
par. And, because for Woods, he had to do 22 holes yesterday because of the bad weather the previous day. And for him to manage that, guys need to know he's not played competitively. The time he tried was at his own tournament, and after day 1, day 2 he withdrew. I
think I saw something like he's only played 25 holes this year or 25 rounds. 23. Something like that.
23. Not holes.
23 holes.
Not 23 holes. And by yesterday you could see he's struggling. And people are asking, he's gotten big. And I was looking into it, and a big reason why he's getting big is because his muscles need to do what his body can't. Like, his body is completely beaten. He was saying he's on painkillers because it hurts everywhere. So for him to play this course, it means a lot to him. And the best thing about Augusta National is if you know it, you get such a huge advantage. That's why Ludwig Åberg, it's his first ever Masters and he's under, and it's such a big accomplishment because for the first time, for someone who's like, it's your first time playing that course, he's doing really well. But you could just tell he knew exactly where to place the ball. You're seeing the curves and you're like, how did he read that? And it's just because of how many years he's played. 24 cuts.
He's won it, 5 times?
Yeah.
The last one, of course, is the famous one in 2019 when he had his kids and he had everyone. Yes, that's the famous one when he finished with his red and the boy was in red as well. And I saw a stat which I thought was very interesting. When he first made the cut at the Augusta in April 1997, 17 players who lined up this week weren't born.
It's
when he first made his cut, they weren't born.
And I think for them, it's I'm sure it's as much as, yes, he's not at his previous best. I can only imagine for some of them because most of them watched him.
At given point, started because of him. Most of them started playing golf because of him.
So he's inspired a generation and he's playing with a generation. And that same year is the same year he won it, 97, if I'm not wrong. And it just tells you the level of mental fortitude that he has, because she's just touched on like how your body has been. Like, you're not able to do some of the things you're able to do before. Remember the issues that Nadal has been facing last week.
That's actually where I was going to go. I was going to say, last weekend you told me, listen, Nadal, pack it in, go home, find something else to do. Here is Tiger Woods. The last time he won was 2019. He is widely regarded as the greatest golfer that ever lived, at least of the modern day era. He's changed the game more than... We had this conversation again, and I'm sure you saw it. He's probably changed the sport than any other person. Like when you think about someone changing a sport, he probably has done it more than any other sportsman, maybe in any other sport. The only guy who they can go toe-to-toe with is MJ.
Jordan.
Yeah. Like just completely changed the whole sport. He's on painkillers. His back is fused. Yes, his back is fused. His ankle, I don't know, is what. Why do you think he keeps going?
I think maybe perhaps if you think about it, one of the reasons why this is the Masters is special is because was it his first? This is the first major he won, or among the when it was in '97.
Yeah.
So there's something special about it because 13 years ago he won his first one. He's won it 5 times, and it's to some extent it put him out. And you see, you're winning in one of the biggest golf events in your country. The Masters it has so much history. This is the 88th edition. I think for him the Masters is much more special. You can't even compare with any other golf tournaments because
almost everyone it's
the hallmark, it's the pinnacle.
Yeah, but maybe
and
why
also,
is he putting himself, because I'm using Bernard's argument against him, why is he putting his body through all this? Like I mean, Nadal would want to be at the French Open because it's his favorite slam, but his body is...
The interesting thing, it's not for money, because before you could say it's for money, but he's no longer with Nike. You can see his logo, it's a tiger logo.
And he's already worth $1 billion anyway.
And his whole point is, if he did not think he could win, he would not be playing that tournament. He made that comment specifically. And even in 2019, if you look at where he was on the Sunday, how he was approaching that game, because I watched it recently in the run-up to the Masters. That's how much I'm into golf now. And he was explaining that he was going to be patient. He was just going to play, make sure he doesn't make any mistakes, and watch all the other people scramble. And it worked out, because there was no point he was even in the lead, and now he went on to completely finish it. So for him, there's something about this course that he feels gets the best out of him, and maybe he's also going for the record.
But why? But
he's
guys,
trying to go for the record.
Chances of him winning are not high.
That's what they said in 2019.
But he's 7 shots off the lead. I think
the
biggest one he got was 6 off the lead. I think there's one he made up a 6 shot.
But you're saying it's
so
it's after today is when you'll say he's this many shots off the lead, because it's from Saturday to Sunday that makes the difference.
Yeah, the moving day, like they call it.